You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
Let's just do this fucking piece of shit show, goddammit.
Mexican cake, Cero Miedo, Steven Praise. Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMShow75. That up there is at Byron Fever. That over there is at Professor Casey, at Lucha Gringos, your handle, right? And then this guy over here at Meef Loaf, he seems to be pretty happy about Santos Escobar. Wait, actually, you know what? Wait a minute, guys. I got to do the entire intro again because somebody's retiring today. We're never, ever going to do that intro again. I am going to right now. I'm going to retire the hat. I am no longer going to be the Outlaw LA Red. I don't know if most of you people out there probably don't know this, but today is in fact my last day as a resident of Los Angeles County. I am getting the fuck out of here. I'm very happy that a friend let me borrow their studio, but I no longer have a house here. I'm moving the fuck out of this crazy town. But this guy back here, I don't know if you can see him. I got a friend back here who...
Look at that fucking hair. Jesus, like the back end of a fucking dog.
He's like some kind of weird TV guy, editor or something.
Juice Robinson over here.
He let me camp out in his office today while he's working. So I'll
camp out might be the word.
So give me 1 second. We're gonna do this one more time. Say goodbye to the Outlaw LA Red, who is no more.
Bye, Outlaw LA Red.
He's moving to England or Australia. I don't know.
Good riddance to bad trash.
There it is. Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, the rock and roll outlaw, Justin Harvey. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMShow75. That up there is at Byron Fever. That over there is at Lucha Gringo. This guy right here is at Meef Loaf. And we are here to talk about some fun things because you've got Lucha Leather at Lucha Leather. No,
that's all we're going to talk about.
But your handle is Leather Lucha.
Yeah,
you did it the Spanish way.
Why couldn't you get Lucha Leather?
It just automatically did it.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah,
you can switch the handles. You know that, right?
Kind of. I'm have to do that.
There's these things called settings in programs where you go into them and you change things and adjust them to suit your needs.
Hold on. I'm registering Lucha Leather right now, so you can't.
Please do. Good Lord, hold it for ransom just because of stupidity. This is a huge week in wrestling. I don't know if I care or not, but there have been some great things. We will talk about most of them. Most importantly, we're going to talk about what Casey wants to talk about because, damn it, that's how we roll. But I do want to briefly kick off talking about Lucha Underground and some Lucha Underground news and some things that are going on. So in fact, it looks like there are some things out there in the wind. There are people positioning themselves. There are people trying to make something happen in the Lucha Underground space. It's pretty obvious at this point. It's been reported. Meltzer's talking about it. It's out there. There's been some trademarks filed as well. I don't know if that's to keep the new stuff from happening or to help the new stuff continue to happen. The real thing is no one really knows behind the scenes who is actually in agreement. What's the best bit, me?
So the best bit is that the picture that the people who broke the news used of the Lucha Underground wanting to come back with it's online or something, downloadable content, wanting to bring all the, as many cast members, crew members back as they can, and they used a picture of Escobar. That's quite enough.
Oops. Yeah, let's just say that will not be one of the returning characters to any version of Lucha Underground that may exist in the future. But, I
don't know. He may want to get out of his contract with what he has going on at NXT. I think it might be better for his career to redo what he did
Oh, I'm
Yes,
pretty sure he's
I know.
pretty good at getting out of contracts, isn't he?
Yes. Well, I would say that I would prefer that he stay right where he is because his ladder match skills in Lucha Underground were not quite as good as the ones that he currently has. And funny thing about that is our Lucha Underground Rewind this week features a Santos ladder match.
That
right?
nearly ended his career. Yes.
And also talking about NXT Stand and Deliver does. But anyway, with the Lucha news, here's what I know that I'll say. What I know that I'll say is that clearly there are some people trying to do something similar to Lucha Underground, as we said last week. We all know that MLW has Azteca Underground, which involves Court Bauer mostly doing the MLW stuff, but of course Conan is involved with Court Bauer and doing some of the MLW product. They also have relationships with Dorian right now, though the whole weird Leo Rush, Laredo Kid, cruiserweight, middleweight title debacle is super bizarre.
I don't know what's bizarre about it. It's settled. They had a match that didn't count, and Laredo Kid is still the champ.
Yeah, but come on, for television, that is just a clusterfuck. Like, how did no one agree? The problem is both companies are taping their shows so far in advance, and everybody was probably like handshake deal. Okay, yeah, this and this and this is fine, but nobody knows when the other company is taping what and how it's going to actually play. Super weird. Anyway,
Wait, what is Meatloaf doing with ketchup? Oh, that makes sense. He's eating fries for all the listeners. I thought it was super cool how Laredo Kid lost the belt on MLW TV, but possibly AAA may have never agreed to it. Although who knows? Because their front office, who knows what's going on. And then Lucha Blog tweeted something about it, and then he replied to himself, "Oh no, what if Leo Rush found out he wasn't champ from this tweet?" And apparently there was Leo Rush found out actually earlier when he saw Laredo with the belt on TV, which also is not cool.
The whole thing was bizarre to me. It was just like it didn't seem like there was any animosity. It doesn't seem like there's any heat coming from either office at each other. Just like a snafu in the recording process or whatever. And MLW, from what I understand, when they tape a copious amount of product. Like they just knock out a ton of shit in a few days and move on, which is smart. And they seem to be doing it better and more coherently than Impact was doing it for a while when they were at the Impact Zone before the COVID thing. Like those tapings for a while at Impact, they would have everybody show up and like none of the storylines would make sense in like a 3-day period. I just didn't understand it. But these days Impact seems to be doing it right. And MLW certainly getting a lot of things right. But the Lucha Underground thing, who knows if it'll actually be called Lucha Underground, but I would love to see some of the performers that are out there that are available come back. It'd be interesting to see what they would do storyline wise, trying to continue that universe, if that universe could exist, or if we're just talking about, some other type scenario that's different. I mean, you see what Selena De Laurentiis is doing right now with Azteca Underground, and that's got a little bit of a Katrina season 2 running the temple kind of vibe. We'll see where it goes. I think it would be awesome. No matter what, I think the most awesome thing will be if we can get some cool American programming where we get to see great up and coming talent out of Mexico, especially. I mean, we've always talked about how Conan has his finger on the pulse of some of the great up and coming guys, and he's helped out a lot of them. And I was getting to the point where I'm like, oh, this dude's run out of dope dudes because we've seen them all now. But if he's got more and he's keeping them in his back pocket and hiding them, shit, yeah, bring back Lucha, Azteca, Underground, whatever, and show us this talent and give them some American TV time, even if it's downloadable content, whatever that trademark was filed for. I don't know.
Well,
The Americans are good enough to see Alvarez and Aramis.
Conan has said that only Black Taurus has a visa right now, and everyone else is still working on it. So we'll be waiting a little bit, I think, no matter what. But
that's people assuming that the content is going to be made here in America.
Well, that's Conan himself saying that, though.
Right. So I mean, but that is the problem with that was the problem with season 4 of Lucha Underground. I mean, part of the whitening of Lucha Underground was a legitimate issue with getting visas because of, they dragged their feet on the order for season 4 and everyone was blah, 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 fighting with each other for months and months and months. And then by the time they pull the trigger, they're like, once they pull the trigger, they're like, we want it and we want it now. Get back into production, build a brand new temple for season 4, and then find us some people to wrestle in it. And all of the ideas that DeJoseph and Roach had for season 4 went right out the window because literally 50% of the people that they had written ideas for were not available because of visas.
And God forbid they use some California area luchadors.
Okay, the way they wrote their way out of it may not have been great. Go ahead, Byron.
Yeah, the issue with that was that's a season 1 solution when they still had Conan, who has this pulse on lucha everywhere, or at least he could see some Southern California dude in a hood and know if he was legit enough to put on the show. But he was gone, and so they had Loco and they had Cholo though that are both part of that scene. I don't buy it. it. Yeah, but I mean, were people asking them? I don't know. It's I don't think that was their strong point when they got rid of Conan. I think it was there were reasons, but it hurt the lucha aspect of the show in many ways. And that was one of them when they got rid of him. Also, I think it's really incredible when MLW is like, we have a stable and we're blatantly going to hire the dude who keeps his Lucha Underground gimmick. We're making him the champ. We're going to have a mysterious website that has more questions than answers, and it's all alluding to Lucha Underground. And then a month later, someone's going to have a dirt sheet report. Hey, someone might be trying to revive Lucha Underground. It's like, or you could just have been watching the show and have seen that they are doing a Lucha Underground vibe already. There's your report. Just watch the show, read the recaps. Like, okay, cool. Like, are you gonna do vignettes or something? Like, all right, Impact was doing badass Lucha Brother vignettes. That's the last time Pentagon was cool. I don't know. Blasphemy.
First of all, Pentagon is always cool, you motherfucker.
He's always cool, but that's the last time that he got a promo that respected him enough to show off that he was actually more powerful than anyone. Like, they gave him all sorts of special effects. It's not like they had the one of the co-EVPs of the show take a cool arm breaker in the match. Like, they got to it. It made sense. It worked great in the match, but then immediately no-sells it in order to do a different angle. And I totally get Cody doing the Nightmare Family angle, whatever, fine. But don't do the Pentagon arm break beforehand. You're killing whatever. Anyway, what are you eating?
It's all killing the business. And it happens.
We should all be eating breakfast right now.
Why? You're hungry, aren't you, Byron? Don't worry about it. You'll get through this. You'll be fine.
I'm watching Meef eat French fries that I remember when I was eating onion rings.
Justin's got a sausage for you for later.
Yeah, I fed it to him last night. He just doesn't realize it.
But anyway,
he is a heavy sleeper.
Sorry, the point I was trying to make with all that is that Conan he's always been wanting to bring luchadors into America, get them on America TV, and make luchadors money. And as an American wrestling fan, I want to watch these luchadors. And we've had all these false promises, whether it's the fault of people or executives or Trump or COVID. We got teases. We got a toe dip in the pool and Impact with the AAA people. Same with AEW. Like, we're getting Laredo Kid, and then we have Black Taurus, and then we have Mil Muertes and that stuff in MLW.
Conan's going to use the guys that he likes wherever he can. He's very particular about it. It's obvious. He knows what's up. He's getting guys work. But also at the same time, you know, Conan, like what he did with the Crash, when he's at a promotion and when he's doing a thing, he wants to bring his guys under his umbrella, you know, take care of things and write some storylines, whether it be short-lived or long-lived or not, whether it's Aero Lucha or the Crash or what he's doing with MLW. If he feels like MLW and Court Bauer in that situation and the fact that they're working with AAA is working, then he's going to try to get the best guys in there and make something exciting. That's what I'm hoping is happening. We'll see. And whether or not you can pull off the storylines and all the other Lucha Libre shit, great. Like if you can bring back some of that stuff, fine. And if you can't, let's just at least get the best Lucha Libre storylines going and see these guys out of some of the Mexican promotions too, because as much as one of the things I always liked about Lucha Underground was, you know, there were a lot of these mid-card guys that Casey knew about and a few of them that I had known about and that we were all kind of fans of that got more love in Lucha Underground. And like Pentagon in AAA at the time was not doing great things. Nobody was trying to propel him to the top of the card. You know, or Fenix for that matter, or any of those guys. You know, those guys were not the top of the card.
Technically, even you could say Australian Suicide. And
exactly,
it was still better than what he actually had.
Well, and they were talking for a long time about bringing him in, and he was another guy that was like he was actually getting used when all those guys got kind of rated to Lucha Underground. He was getting used in AAA more. But anyway. And by the way, Mil has not broken any of his agreement in using the Mil Muertes character on MLW. He was licensed to use it. Remember, they did that thing where they started letting everyone use the names on the indies as long as they weren't putting it on national TV. Now, they're supposed to pay back a license fee, but if no one is coming to collect that license fee, that's not on him.
Nope.
He can go out. He was there. They were all 100% allowed to go out and use their gimmicks. As long as, you know, if they were booked for something national, that was discussed first, and they were supposed to just pay a small licensing fee to be allowed to use the gimmicks. I mean, even Madelson used the actual Snake character once or twice before he just became Luchasaurus on the indies. But there's ways around it. You know, maybe he spells Muertes with 2 S's. Who cares? Anyway,
no more tests.
Let's take a quick break, and then I want to see what Casey's got this week. Casey, you got some fun stuff to show us?
Not at all, no.
Nothing? Okay. Well, then can you just maybe pull out your dick?
Okay, yeah. So come back
great.
For some dick.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think StreamYard is crashing. Looks like our recording session's over.
No, don't do that. Anyway, so let's go to a quick break, and let's find out what's going on over at Lucha Central from our wonderful friend that loves us so much just because we edited out some of the things that we had to say about her last week, right here on the Lucha Central Podcast Network. Let's throw it over to Denise Salcedo in Lucha Central.
Byron, you know what you got to do.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch all of the great network content this week. Get the full lineup and listen to all of our shows in the podcast network section of luchacentral.com. Sundays on the Lucha Central Facebook page, world-traveled shooter of the camera kind, Jerry Villagrana goes mano a mano with a fellow photographer to throw down about some of their favorite photos they have taken at Lucha Libre events. Monday, Business of the Business returns as Mass Republic President Kevin Kleinrock takes you inside how your favorite Lucha Libre merchandise gets made. On Tuesdays, Mass Mats and Mayehm takes you inside the world of Lucha Underground as they take you weekly through the series with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of special guests from the groundbreaking series. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. Tuesday nights live, it's Wrestle Boss, where Fabi Chulo talks MMA and pro wrestling with special guests and listener call-ins. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros, giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. Thursdays, it's Straight Out of the Bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez, as they have guests from throughout the wrestling world pull up to give an inside look into their careers. From indie standouts to television superstars, each week brings a new name and perspective. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms, either by their own series name or subscribe to the Lucha Central Podcast Network show pages to get all of the shows in one easy feed. And please consider giving a rating to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central Central. Have a great week.
Welcome back to the MMM show, brought to you by a couple of guys who bought these boss fight figures. We got them a year after we ordered them, and we're here to give you the one true review of them that you need to trust. Don't listen to anyone else. Also, a fun aspect, my review is basically you can rebook Dynamite and have Cody be humbled by our Lord and Savior Pentagon.
Wait, do I have to put this on now? Because
what are you doing?
I'm close to you. Does that help?
We both have.
Oh, wait, we're vaxxed.
We're vaxxed.
Oh, that means you guys can make out. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
It's
kiss,
breathing.
Kiss,
they still
kiss.
say no fluid swapping and no rimming.
Oh,
Really?
then why am I back here on this side? I haven't seen these. I'm just.
Oh, yeah, dude, check it
Let
out.
Justin play with your toys,
dolls,
you selfish
so I
dick.
haven't looked.
To be fair, if
Go
he
ahead.
kisses the back of just Byron's head, it is like rimming. You've not seen the fucking state of that thing. Jesus.
Oh, my camera's on crop sensor, so it's not as wide.
You can still
The
see
only
my
thing that looks
hands.
like a bigger asshole than Byron is the back of his head.
Trying to steal my crop sensor. Little picture.
Dude, I love all of
my
this.
house
Isn't
down,
it cool?
but I'm on
So,
the ground in the next
very-
town.
This thing is friggin' sweet.
They're very articulate.
Okay,
it comes
let
with
the-
I don't
two
want to mess
heads.
up. I don't want to mess up your scene here.
Okay,
Oh,
so
it's fine.
first of all, Byron doesn't know how to review toys. He barely knows shit about toys.
Look how cool
he
it
calls
is.
them dolls.
I'm going back to my chair so I can hear Casey.
You
Byron,
can
just-
take those with you.
Oh, sweet.
Just
So
give
here-
up and give me the one, Byron.
Here's my impersonation of Casey reviewing a doll. Hey, look at his balls. They look pretty good. I give this an 8 out of 10.
First of all, his
Look,
balls
you-
are the right color. His
See?
balls
And you've
are
got
the
to go
right
for
color.
anatomically correct.
See,
You know, this
so
is fine details.
Casey, I'm going to show off the pictures that we took while you start, and then I'll get to your one.
Okay, so 17 years ago, Byron and I decided to order these figures. That you know, maybe in the future, these wrestlers that don't exist yet will have really cool action figures. And yeah, so we're like, okay, there's these two kids in Mexico that like wrestling, and we're gonna order their figures for when they become wrestlers in 17 years. And we got them. So I am going to go out on a limb here.
Hold on, I want to interject real quick. You're bringing up a story that leads me to say you guys should go listen back to our Conan interview from the past year when he talks about the first time he saw the Lucha Brothers like doing that tryout in the ring and waiting like 8 hours to do it, because that was the day they signed the deal to do these figures, and that's the day the pre-order went up for these figures.
And that's when we put our money down. So okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I've collected wrestling figures for a while. You know, I've been a wrestling figure guy since I was a little kid, right? Like some of my first toys were wrestling figures. The Pentagon figure in this line, in my opinion, is the best wrestling figure ever made in the history of wrestling figures. Okay. That's one of my images right there. Okay. That's actually using the backing card he came with. Yep. That's him hanging out in my kitchen, Pentagon here. So that said, Fenix is really, really good too. Here's Wolverine getting fucked up. But there's my previous vote for greatest wrestling figure ever made, Jushin Thunder Liger from Storm Collectibles. And nope, he got his arm broken, which is pretty easy to do because that's a fragile ass figure. These can take some hits. There's us with our exclusive Vampiro prototype figure.
Yeah. Hilarious. So Casey, but I have a question, being the not normal figure collector of this group, though I do have an entire set of Farscape action dolls, but that's another story. What exactly is it that makes this Penta the best action figure ever, especially for our audio listeners that can't see these wonderful pictures that we're showing right now? And if you are one of our audio listeners, you might want to just pop over to the YouTube feed at some point and just check out some of these great pictures, because these figures are really absolutely spectacular.
These have to be seen. It's an accuracy thing. It's also, for the most part, because I'm going to nitpick about a couple things to be an asshole, an attention to detail thing. Like, for example, Pentagon and Fenix, their tattoos are completely represented and they're full color. Okay, so when you look at Penta's arms, full color all the way through everything. Fenix, full color. See that Perros Del Mal tattoo? When Perro died, actual colors. You see Penta, actual colors on this one. That's his matching version of the tattoo right there. Okay, they're all there. They're all represented, even up to and including the tattoos on Fenix's hands. Which some of this isn't new, but full color representation of tattoos are pretty new. Usually the WWE figures, they kind of fudge it a little bit. These, they didn't really fudge a whole lot. Also, as far as the masks go, they're pretty amazing. They appear to have sculpted the masks slightly independently of the face, so that if you get really, really close, you can see that there's a space between the mask and the face, like there would be in real life. That is some next level shit here. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you could just pull the mask off and actually see what these guys look like.
Definitely with this one, yeah. And having seen Pentagon Unmasked, I'm pretty sure this is his real fucking face right here.
Yeah, it's like they modeled his face first and then modeled the mask separately and then put the whole shit together.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This is the standard non-screaming Pentagon head. Absolutely beautiful. But, I mean, come on. The torn mask head is fucking amazing. Also, the first torn mask luchador figure ever made, as far as I know, and I'm pretty sure I'm right there. There may be like a Ray that has a mask slightly torn, but it was done with paint and not with molding and not done well. But this is freaking tremendous. Also, they're built sturdy. They're great. The joints click into position, kind of like the AEW figures, but there's a lot more joints. The joints are comparable to a WWE Ultimates figure. It has the butterfly chest here. It's easier to see on Fenix, the butterfly joints for the arms that allow for an even greater range of movement. They come with cool accessories. Fenix comes with two heads. He comes with this mask here. He comes with a smiley face as well. The amount of deco on these is amazing. He comes with an alternate set of hands, and he comes with a really good kendo stick, which there's such attention to detail that the tape isn't white. It's slightly dirty, like it's been used.
Wait, does it have a handle? So
it has a handle, so it's a kendo stick.
So it's a kendo stick. Okay, because we determined that if it doesn't, it's a Singapore cane, according to Paul Heyman rules.
And as far as Penta comes with slappy hands and a grippy hand to hold shit too, but if you're not giving him the Cerro Miedo,
Man, I'm just looking at these hands. Like, there's creases in the hands. Honestly, they stopped just short of giving these figures fingerprints. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, every other detail seems to be there, you know?
If you're not using the Cerro Miedo hands.
I mean, look, the Fenix bulge is even hanging slightly to the left. That's just so accurate to life.
So Penta
it's almost like Hot
hands.
Toys.
Yeah, no,
they're not quite there, but yeah.
I'd say they're pretty fucking close to the to like 112 collective, except that they don't wear fabric clothes, which I wouldn't want anyway. Penta comes with first ever light tube accessory to come with a wrestling figure.
Oh no, they didn't. Oh, that's ridiculous.
And he comes with a head too. You can also get a light tube and a kendo stick and some of the weapon accessory packs that Bossfight's doing, which I did order. They're on the way. They're just not here yet, so we'll talk about them. Now, that said, most accurate Lucha Bros, best sculpting. You can see the stitching on the fucking masks. They're so well done. If you look close enough, you can actually see the little stitches around the eyes.
On the mask on the chin.
These are the most accurate and best figures ever made. This is where I'm going to nitpick and be an asshole, though. They're not perfect yet, but they're damn close. They're damn close.
What'd they do wrong, Case? What happened?
Okay, so first of all, you've got a pentagon in your hands right now, right? So the one
Byron
thing that kind of bothers me, this is purely an artistic choice. It was a decision they made. I'm not sure that I like it, though. Fenix comes with the same mask twice. Penta's got different masks depending on which head you use. I would have rather had it that you got the same mask twice for figure photography purposes, so that you could have like a match where he gets his mask ripped or something like that.
Oh, and so you could actually have some continuity in the story by changing his expression. I get that. That makes sense.
Fenix, 100%.
I need to think about how people are going to actually use stuff. They're probably thinking, oh, it's cool to have these two different flavors, but they're not realizing that a lot of people are going to do figure photography with these.
But as you can see, Fenix does not have that problem. So it's all good. Now,
some paint.
Yeah, and there's most of the stuff I'm going to talk about was clearly like a cost-cutting measure. One of them is that Penta has white chin straps on the mask. They're not painted black, which they should be in this case. And also on here, it's hard to see though. So I see why they didn't waste money on it. It's hard to see. You can't really tell, right? So just a little something. The other thing is Fenix's wrist tape. Yes, I'm going to be that much of a stickler. They just reused the mold for the wrist tape for Pentagon's wrists for his gloves. So one of his is longer than the other. If they're baseball gloves, they're not going to be like that.
Correct.
Now, Fenix has elbow pads that are like the best elbow pads I've ever seen on an action figure.
Does Penta have a bare hand as well as gloves, or just gloves hands?
He just has gloved hands. When I took the picture I had of the bare hand, I was using a different figure's hands.
Well, yeah, because he only needs he just needs one right hand bare so he can do his taking off the glove thing and slapping the crap out of people.
I use this hand, which is one of Tatanka's hands, I think. They're a skin tone match, so I was using these ones for some of the photography I did. Also, Penta and Fenix have the same legs, okay? Same molds for the legs. The problem I have with that is that these sewn details on Pentagons are just kind of flat painted on there. Penta's not really wearing baggy pants. It doesn't really matter. You can't tell unless you're nitpicking. But again, I'm nitpicking. Also, Fenix, he's got exterior knee pads as a result, and Fenix usually tucks his knee pads under his pants. Boots are a little more accurate to Fenix. I've seen Penta wear these, but he usually has an outline on his kick pads that are a little bit more prevalent. They did kind of cheat it with the paint a little bit, and it looks good, but it's not exact. But from the waist up, these are perfect action figures. Let's put it that way, except for some wrist tape, which is like whatever, right? So these make me really look forward to future things that Bossfight is going to do.
We need all the dragon in this, though. We don't need him in the cheap one.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned that we have so many Fanaticos coming out that are lesser figures than this and not ultimates of Vampiro and ultimates of Ultimo Dragon, which is what we want. I want all of my figures to be in this articulation range. I want them all to match. So I'm a little concerned about the Fanaticos not doing that.
Well, I mean clearly this takes a little bit longer to accomplish, judging by the fact that when did you guys order these? A million and a half years ago?
2019.
1985.
Yeah. So, well, you know, and if you want them to be like this, by the time you die, maybe you'll get them all, Case.
Yeah. I guess. You know, we could all die tomorrow. I just got the Moderna shot. You know, could be.
Oh, you got a Modi, as I like to call him.
Yeah, no,
I was moody after my Modi. My Modi ran me down a little bit, but I haven't gotten the ick. So.
I was probably legally dead for about 18 hours, but I feel great now. I'm going to the mall after this. Fuck.
Oh, shit. Get a Foster's freeze, man.
I might.
Hey, are we done with the shoey thing? Have we actually accomplished what Australia wanted from us as a podcast?
Gives a shit what Australia wants?
Well, you know, our numbers are really, really good down under.
You know, I told them on my
not used to seeing civilization.
On my other Far Superior podcast, another miserable podcast, I told
which you guys should watch. It honestly has been or listen to. It's been very, very good the last few episodes, and I'm gonna probably re-listen to them because I have a long car ride in front of me as I drive across the country on this move.
Yeah.
So point me to your best episodes.
No, they all kind of suck. No, listen to the Frankenstein one. It's pretty good. The one that we just did is really, really good. No, I do like that podcast, but I did put a little something in the recording for our Australian listeners this time, saying that maybe we'll cover Razorback since they were nice and voted for Ricky O, the Story of Ricky, which is our next episode we're going to record.
That's a phenomenal movie, by the way. I do want to bring up that this Blood Brothers Cody, which is like a ringside exclusive special edition, whatever, he's pretty dope, except that like everything about him is all wobbly. Like it's not because Pentagon has had him in an arm breaker for the past week. Life. He has more upper body mobility than he does in real life by like tenfold.
Well, he's just lucky it's not anatomically correct if he's going to be that wobbly.
I mean, it just goes to show how solid the Lucha Brothers and Bossfight figures
Byron,
are.
What color are Cody's balls? What color are Cody's balls?
Cody's balls? Oh, no. Oh,
you can see his balls.
But here's the thing. This is a Series 2 special edition. I believe. Yes.
Yeah, their balls are the right color now.
They fixed it, but then they made the holes for the balls a lot bigger too.
They got the Lucha Bros in the next ones, haven't they, as well?
Yeah. You could get the Bossfight Lucha Bros at their store if they're still available. They are selling the rest after the pre-orders. And order them. You'll get them before me, Fever will. Pretty much guaranteed. So
they're probably selling mine.
Yeah. Wait, I can still order them right now? I'm going to have to do that. I never did, so maybe it's time.
I think you should send a message. You should send a message to Kevin.
Escobar coming out.
But also, I do really enjoy the aspect of complaining about how long it took to get them because of the fact that Neef ordered at the same time. He still doesn't have them.
I may have ordered way before you. I may have, because I was literally, as the website hit the time, dead on. I thought they might sell out or something, and I went nuts and bought them then and there.
Are you guys going to be mad if I order them and I never open them?
Yeah, that's that. Let them breathe.
I've ordered 2, so I can paint one set up and leave the other one in the box.
I pretty much never open my action dolls because I like to collect things, but I don't like to play with dolls. That's just my thing. All right, guys, let's take another quick break because I actually want to talk about this episode of Lucha Underground before we talk about this week in wrestling, because there's some interesting things that I think kind of speak to what's going on now. We'll be back right after this.
Now you guys can go away. This is not going to be good. I get to shit on Prince Puma's bitch ass a little bit. Now come back.
Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you Lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Conan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
And we're back. I love this whole recording situation, Casey, where we get to force Byron to mute a lot more. It feels kind of nice. I don't know what you think, but
hey, Byron, if you're not an asshole, say something. God damn it.
Great. Oh, no, it was too late. Anyway, let's talk quickly and briefly and maybe a lot or maybe not about this week's Lucha Underground Rewind. Lucha Underground,
as I called it, Lucha Underground Fast Forward.
Wow, really? I liked this episode for a lot of reasons, but we'll get into it. Lucha Underground Season 2, Episode 6, Gift of the Gods Ladder Match. They got very uncreative with the name of this particular episode, which we had given them kudos for actually having some decent names up until now, and they just copped out. They're like, it's the one with the Gift of the Gods Ladder Match. Which, of course, as we said earlier, is interesting because this is the ladder match where we'll get into it later. Vignette number 1, Katrina and Mil Muertes. I could have put Fenix and Cuerno to rest weeks ago, but I listened to your trick ass, and Mil Muertes does not seem happy. This is actually Ricky Banderas' voice. It's one of the reasons why we've never had him on the show, because his English is amazingly bizarre at times.
I just got to say, okay, I'm going to be a little mean here, and I apologize in advance. Carly starts talking like him by the end of the vignette.
Yeah.
And I don't think she did it on purpose. I think it just happened.
She just started to slip into that.
But watch accent. It. Yeah, she starts going, "You will have a match." No.
Yeah.
You would be in the Rumble, Pascual Mendoza. Yeah, it was a little weird. And
you obviously, Ricky's trying to force it out. And I've heard Ricky speak English a few times, but it is very much a second language for him. Yeah, serviceable. Dude. It works great with the character to me. It was kind of cool that they let him talk.
Because his voice is the shit, though. Like, he's got a cool fucking voice. You got to let him talk.
Well, and as we know from our interviews with Skip Chasen and Eric Van Wagenen and whatnot, that they did not let a lot of people at Lucha Underground talk. And here's a guy who English is clearly his second language. We moved into season 2 now, where they weren't really doing promos in English and Spanish anymore like they had been before. During season 1, because there was that Mexican version of the show that they were airing in Mexico, with Hugo doing commentary and all that stuff. A lot of people don't even know that in the States, that there were legitimately 2 versions of Lucha Underground through the entire first season. They weren't doing that in the second season. But during the first season,
for the fourth.
Yeah. Like everybody was doing promos in English and Spanish that could for the first season, and they were cutting 2 different versions of the show. Ricky, however, did not get to do any of his stuff in Spanish, and they just made him do it in English. But it's also, his Spanish is different than the truth. Anyway, I think we get the point of the segment here of that not everything is completely kosher in the world of Katrina and Mil. There's still a little bit of animosity there, and Mil wants to prove that he's a badass. Was there any legit reason other than storyline that they shelved Mil for a couple of weeks here? Does anybody know?
No, dude, he got his arm broken.
That's right. Pentagon broke his arm.
Yes.
This next match is a very interesting one to me for a couple of reasons. None of those are Sexy Star, other than the fact that Sexy Star versus Thunder Rosa, Cobra Moon, whatever. Sorry,
Mel, I skipped it.
Yeah, but listen, I'll tell you the long and short of it. This is a really funny match to watch because one of these two performers has about 10 years less experience at the time than the other one. And
is a million times better. That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh my God. How messed up is that to go back and see a very green, fresh, young, new Thunder Rosa already carrying Sexy Star to a decent match, one of the better Sexy Star matches, in fact, and got her through it. But also, I will give Sexy Star credit for one thing and one thing only, that she didn't put the brakes on Mel. She actually let Thunder Rosa have the spots, and it looked like Thunder Rosa was actually leading the match. I don't know that for a fact, but it seemed like she was calling the spots and not Sexy Star, which is super weird for a ring veteran to be in there. But whatever, this match was serviceable, nothing special, and we can move on. Oh, and then you get Thunder Rosa does the Dragon Sleeper, which was cool. You get a little bit of Marty in his new role, creepy sex moth, La Jolla Trust Fund sex moth, or whatever his character at the time was, which was great because without this sexy storyline, as much as it didn't do a lot for me, I don't think Marty would have gotten the push that he got later to be a more serious and maniacal version of this character. He had to do the fun and games, help us get Sexy Star over version to get the rub. And basically he had to earn it. This is Marty paying dues here. Having to work a program with Sexy Star.
And he came out alive.
I also think this is that get Sexy Star over, because the whole thing is to bring in Mariposa, who's going to work a series of matches where Sexy Star will look good, or should look good. Should be able to count to 10, but that's also later in the show. But I thought also this was a really good transition for Marty into doing that character work that would end up being his main event run, even though he's still kind of sort of jobbing out in stories. It's where he's going from that goofy guy who is a super fan to like, oh no, this guy is a bit of a threat. There's something going on with him. So I do think you're planting the seeds, and he is doing the work for the eventual.
Prince Puma found that out in this episode.
Oh boy, did he ever. Let's get to it soon. But vignette number 2 is another Famous B commercial. And this was awesome because most in Lucha Underground up until this point, there were people who got packages, but if you watch the first season, those packages were rehashes of stuff that Skip already shot most times. Like they would re-edit or use something different or a little different voiceover, like the 2 Pentagon packages that were very similar, and Puma had a few that were similar. And without it being a backstage vignette, here we're getting Famous B doing an entirely separate commercial from the first one for his 4-2-3 Get Fame, where he's asking if you want to become a famous fighter like him. Which is just classic. And I love these Famous B commercials. I think they had so much fun with the first one. And obviously they can't have known how good the reaction was going to be, because it was only 2 weeks ago that we got the first one, and they already have another one. So it hadn't aired. They're just going on faith that these things are as fire as they actually are. And I know the writers and producers all loved them. And even a lot of the locker room thought that these were great. And so we got another one, and they're all fire. Vignette number 3 comes right out of that, and which is interesting that Rey Mysterio actually turns off the Famous B commercial, kind of playing with the fact that this stuff all exists in a world, and says, that there's no time for TV and they have to get dads ready, and then they have a very lovely little slap fight, which was kind of fun. And then it goes into a 4th vignette. Cuerno talking about how his ultimate goal of the hunt is the kill of the prey, and that when he wins the ladder match, not only will he be the next champion, he will be a god.
You're seeing some really cool stuff with the cinematic transitions between the vignettes.
I disagree.
And well, okay, you disagree, but I think you're seeing least the beginning of the cool cinematic transitions, which, to go back to that Azteca Underground stuff, I think a lot of people kind of just use the word cinematic vignettes and they don't quite understand making a movie. And I think a lot of people don't understand how you got to tie and sew everything together. So I thought it was really cool I thought that was a really cool aspect of Lucha Underground, and we're seeing the beginning of that here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Why do you disagree, Case?
Because all these fucking vignettes were like, I have a match tonight. Okay, cool. Did we really need to see you say you have a match tonight when Matt Stryker told us 10 times what the matches were going to be tonight? No.
I think that got blown a little overboard because they did a whole story arc with Mil Muertes in the vignettes. So like he had a whole thing with Katrina, the whole beginning, middle, and end that led to his run-in. And that, I mean, that's a bit much for what we're used to with Lucha.
I mean, basically what Mil's doing is saying, like, look, chick, I want to fight. Like, I'm tired of just sitting on this throne. I get that you're running the show here now, but I want to get back in there. I think that was the point of the Mil vignettes, but I don't disagree with Casey that kind of this other stuff is just really, you know, pushing things along in very small amounts as opposed to, you know, this is part of the issue with wrestling. It's like, what no one had really tried to do was write these long-term storylines across an entire show. There had been wrestling with long-term storylines, but just within that storyline. And, you know, obviously, and maybe they never did. I don't know that anyone ever completely figured out how to do this. It hadn't been done before. And I don't know that they necessarily ever cracked the code, only that they tried real hard. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Krista Joseph. It's his birthday today, not by the time you hear this.
No, happy birthday.
We'll have already been
Happy birthday, DJ.
Hey, his birthday's the day that the Toxic Avenger was first released in theaters. Happy birthday, Toxie, as well.
Oh, Toxie and DJ. Happy birthday, guys. Buried in the middle of the show where no one will ever hear it.
I could make a really good joke now, but I'm not gonna.
Okay, we're not afraid of really good jokes on this show, but
one's got toxic political opinions and one's a toxic Avenger. Blah, blah.
I was thinking the same thing. Oh, God damn it.
Hey, you should tweet that at DJ. I think he'd find it funny.
No, he doesn't have to.
I never know what he'll find funny. Sometimes he totally gets stuff and he thinks it's funny when people razz him. Other times he seems like he's just genuinely offended and wants the entire world to fuck off. But I guess it's kind of all of us.
Snowflake.
No,
So-
I'm usually more on the entire world can fuck off even if I like them or not. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
So let's move
Like
past
this episode could fuck off right now.
Really?
I mean,
Puma versus Pentagon? This
okay,
is look,
we gotta
okay.
we gotta talk. We gotta
We'll
talk about.
but let me tell you
we
what I
gotta
like
talk
about it. And then you can shit all over it. I like, first of all, this is the fastest I've ever seen Pentagon in the ring. Him and Puma and him were running the ropes like I've never seen, you know, Penta run, and definitely not recently. He was running the ropes like a mother, and it looked fucking good. That was the first thing I noticed about this match, and I was just like, I love this. Both of these guys are running the ropes full speed because Penta's looking at this guy like, I don't care where you've been, Japan, whatever, fake Boyle Heights motherfucker. You're not going to outrun me in this ring just because I'm big and lazy.
I'm just glad that he learned to work smart and not hard. Because Pentagon's not a mark.
I also think that there were some of the best catches ever in this match, but how the loosest destroyer I think I've ever seen, and somehow it still worked. Like their bodies weren't even connected, and they somehow did the Mexican destroyer, and it worked. And I'm like, wow, that was a complete bizarre botch, and somehow both of these two guys are so good that they pulled it off.
I'm surprised that Puma could even move with all the sand he had in his vagina during this match.
I just noticed that there was some guys like Jay Ray and some other dudes that were sitting in the front row area, and Puma took a lot of shit in this match. I don't know what was going on there.
Well, you have to go back to the very beginning when the Boyle Heights hometown hero, former Lucha Underground champion, the guy who spent the whole season pouting under a mask. Allegedly, I don't know. Ricochet is super cool. I love his New Japan work. He's a nice guy. I don't want to say bad things about him, but he had a shitty attitude. And as he walked by the Pentagon section, which, by the way, officially was the entire temple, but for the sake of this is the first row of the bleachers. The whole bleachers is the Pentagon section. The whole temple.
Whole temple.
The whole world is. But for the sake of this, we're going to talk about the first row where we were vocal and throwing this Cero Miedo signs in his face when he walked by, and he just gave us the thumbs up. Pointed
sarcastically.
Didn't even look at us. Didn't even look at us. This isn't the Puma Prince.
He didn't want us to see the tears in his eyes, Byron.
Name one Prince you have seen in a movie that would do that. Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. Well, whatever. But like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America, dad bowed and all, in his humbleness and like in all of his flaws, still never did that bitch move where he's like, hey, cool guys, whatever, and walked around and like and was
hey, it's cool. I'm sorry you're not over unless you have a Lucha Libre legend in your corner.
Nah. So no, but I loved Prince Puma. I loved Ricochet and Lucha Underground. I thought he did his best work there. And I also thought like being ringside for his match against Ray in this match, all of his matches was tremendous, but he definitely did not like that we were cheering for Pentagon.
You guys need to understand one thing here.
And he remembered it.
He remembered it. Not only did he remember it, I don't think this was Prince Puma that was mad at us. I think it was Trevor Mann that was mad at us. Just saying.
Yeah, this legit might have been the start of him starting to want to get out of Lucha Underground. Well, it really might, because there was little rumbles and stuff.
Casey did it. Casey
shortly after this, about WWE coming knocking, and
I begged him to stay when Eric asked me to. So don't even blame this shit on me.
Well, I'm not saying that, we all wanted to do right by the guy, but we wanted him to do right by us as the believers as well. And at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad parting of ways when it happened, but there was definitely a parting of ways.
You got to remember it, right? You guys aren't A, pedophiles, or B, idiotic morons who ignore pandemic advice. So he's not going to give you any attention.
True. It's true. Okay. Yeah, look. Okay, so what these guys have been trying to allude to this whole time is Prince is a little gift that I think Byron has ready to go. I hope so, because we've been waiting an hour for him to have this gift.
I don't have the GIF.
What?
I don't have. How am I going to put the?
You don't have the GIF of the gods.
You can screen share.
Okay, this is after. This is after.
Well, hold on. Give me a second. Casey Stahl, take like your third shit of the day.
Okay, no,
Casey,
I'll just.
It's WrestleMania. It's raining. Come on, get out in front of that crowd.
Okay, first of all, fuck WrestleMania. Second of all, I don't think Ricochet's even on the card, is he?
No.
What? He's at that promotion?
I've been told.
He's still there.
WWE? Oh, he does.
Catering.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so Echoey asked Justin is alluding to the fact that during this match, Puma what did he do? He did a little flip or something unimpressive, and then he came to the outside.
No. Puma did something. He did a flippy dive to the outside, which is like a tope con flippy or something, and
yeah, like I said,
to where he landed on. But he did it when he landed on his feet after, which is super cool. Then he immediately makes a beeline to our section. Gets in the face of Johnny Ace, realizes, oh no, not this guy. This guy's cool. And then he's next to Johnny Ace's mom, and he's like, oh, I can't. No, not him. And then there's J Ray and his brother. And then
and all of us are shaking our heads. No,
we're like, no,
get the
we're
fuck out of here.
Everyone's wearing Pentagon shirts. And so he just gets in your face and gives you the Cero Miedo, and then walks back in the ring before you do anything about it.
It's funny that he goes for the guy standing next to the heavily armed 300-pound security guard. It was funny because Cubs fan immediately gifted the second it went on TV.
I was a Cubs fan.
And yeah, it was.
It was not Cubs.
Was it Rob?
It was.
It might have been. Yeah, Lucha Blog is Cubs fan. Jesus Christ.
Which is not kayfabe. He wants to be credited as Cubs fan writing for Lucha Blog. That's how he gets credited now. So it was Cubs fan writing for the Lucha Blog account. Lucha Blog is the account. Cubs fan is the person.
Just press play, Byron.
He is not Lucha Blog. That's like saying I'm MMM show when
See,
I'm
look, like, no, because Johnny's like, I still love you, Puma. And then Johnny's mom is clapping for him right now.
Okay, so I need to mute my mic, but can someone read maybe Casey the caption?
Byron sucks dick. Byron at Byron Fever sucks dick.
I believe it says at Lucha Gringo getting clowned. Is he talking about Gabe? Is that Gabe? Gabe got clowned?
Yeah,
all right, are you going to play this thing?
I don't even see Gabe in this clip. Is he sad because he wasn't here?
Probably.
So look at us. We're like, no.
Oh, right in your face. But Casey gives it right back. He's like, fuck you, Puma. Get back in the ring, bitch ass. What did you say to him right there? You said some things.
I said, suck my dick. No, I just said, yeah, Cerro Miedo. Yeah, Cerro Miedo. Yeah, Cerro Miedo. That's fucking right.
This is one of the best gifts ever. And honestly, is one of the best moments in Lucha Underground history. Let's be honest. Like, whether you like this episode or not, who wins this match? I don't even remember who wins.
We gotta finish out the comments on it though. There's a lot of great commentary. So one, Lucha Gringo getting clowned. Yeah, that happened. And then there's a reply. That's understandable. I don't know what that means. Puma better watch out. I was feeling tough that day. Rob Viper, you should follow, says, if you watch closely, Lucha Gringo takes a step back. He don't want none of that shit.
He took a step back so he could lean into that motherfucker.
No, I didn't. First of all, I didn't take a step back. Second of all, Rob is Ricochet's fucking driver, so of course he's going to say that.
I don't know, but Rob is very really ever wrong about anything Lucha. Then someone else commented, I think it was someone really smart and handsome, dude, I had front row seats to the Casey crapping his pants show. No one favorited that. I should do that. That's a good comment.
Favorite yourself.
Wow. Okay, show that clip again.
Show additional supplies, you punk bitch.
I want to see this clip again. I don't see Casey backing off at all here. I see him leaning back just slightly so he doesn't actually hit the performer in the face, which would be inappropriate to do at a
the giant security guard would have killed me.
Because listen, Lucha Underground does not have a ring barrier. We didn't want there to be a ring barrier. And if Casey had actually put his hands on Puma here, like I know he wanted to, then, you know, they probably would have put up barriers. And Waffle House would have been on our fucking ass the next week.
I'm respectful to wrestlers. I would never do that. But I also don't consider him much of a wrestler. I really do like Ricochet. I'm just fucking around.
No, this is great. I mean, you know, we're reacting.
But this honestly, this tells you what the temple was really all about. It was
dude.
It was a Rudo room.
Can I tell you what's the best about this though?
Sure.
What's the best? Okay, so first of all, you asked how the match ended. It was because it was a double DQ, because Mil Muertes came in and broke everyone's hymens or something. So anyway, do you guys remember what happened to Prince Puma on Lucha Underground?
Like in general, overall?
No, like his final storyline.
Vaguely.
He lost to Pentagon in a loser leaves the temple match for the Lucha Underground title. So not only did Pentagon beat him and send him packing from the temple, who was the last person Penta high-fived after winning that title?
It was Dorian.
No, it was me. Oh. It was me.
I saw him high-five Dorian, fist bump Dorian.
That was never going to happen at that time. This, I was completely justified. And also fast forward a little bit, to when they were shooting that LA commercial for Lucha Underground. Were you there, Byron?
No, Byron. I was not there, but I'm going to.
Okay, so me and J Ray were at this commercial that had Puma and Johnny Mundo there that they were shooting for the city of LA to show like things to do in LA. And so they did Lucha Underground and they made Puma jump off the top of the office a bunch of times as a result. And after they did an autograph signing, and I said, hey, Puma, could you do a Cerro Miedo in this picture since I'm the guy you Cerro Miedo'd in the face? And then it got a little like uncomfortable because I think he thought I was like really mad. And then like Johnny Mundo started laughing and he's like, let me make sure I got it right before we do it. And then Mundo's the only one that fucking does it. But Ricochet seemed like I was like scared that I was really mad. I wasn't. I like Ricochet as a person.
I mean, this photo to me is great.
You your small hand. Take my strong hand.
I love this photo of him because Trevor looks so Paducah in this picture. Like, does he not look like he just fell off a hay bale?
So yeah, if you look behind me, you see that poster that's got the Shocker mask from Kamen Rider over it. That's actually the signed little poster by Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo. Make me an offer, I'll send it to you.
That's kind of dope. That you have an autographed poster of a WWE superstar.
Yep, just one.
Well, that's a stretch in it. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, look, comedy bits rate high. He's as big a star as Elias, at least.
Hey, he's the one that's going to get all the mainstream press coming up. So he's good.
Let's see. We'll see how the Frankie Monet thing plays out, but at least their dog's getting on TV.
Yeah, why did they change Taya's name to Frankie Kazarian?
Wow.
I think it's to do with, like Jim said, possibly.
Because Christian wrestled Frankie Kazarian and they want to stick it to him?
No, Taya has a clothing line that plays off of her gimmick, she said. So, Bretta Loca. So she is keeping, I mean, in theory, she's keeping that gimmick. She's keeping her name, which makes sense because then she can still go.
It makes no sense because her name's not Wera Loca. It's Taya. It makes no sense whatsoever.
But she's, I guess she wants to, I don't know what the deal is, but I could see how she would want to own it, or I could see how WWE would want to own their own version of her name. And I mean, they get away with it. Sometimes they get away with it less now.
What's her name? Frankie LaBouffe or something?
Frankie Monet. Let's just see how it plays out. But you should definitely check out her clothing line. Wera Loca clothing.
Got some of you, Byron?
What?
Have you got some?
I believe the clothing line is officially just Loca by Taya.
Yeah, Byron's actually wearing the booty shorts right now.
It's not Wera Loca. It's just Loca.
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea. I just wanted to support, but I also have no idea about it.
Oh, she's got dope stuff, and it's not just for girls either. She's got decent men's stuff in there too.
Justin, show us those booty shorts. Get up.
Stop it. You know I'm not wearing underwear right now, Casey.
Show us some cheek.
First rule of recording in this household is commando.
Wow. Let's take another quick break, and I want to come back and talk a little bit about some of the world of wrestling this week briefly. I'm not going to get into every match because there's only, 9 million matches that happen this week. But there's a few little things I think we should talk about briefly before I get in my car and drive across the country and leave this godforsaken place forever. We'll be right back.
If you're listening to this and you haven't visited luchacentral.com, it's time to do it. LuchaCentral.com is the online home for Lucha Libre, where you can get all of the top news in English and in Spanish. Find the best curated video content and original content not seen anywhere else. Find when Lucha Libre events would be happening in your area. Find photo galleries from top photographers covering Lucha Libre around the world. From weekly polls to annual awards. Seen and read by top executives in all of the major Lucha Libre promotions across the globe. And on top of that, it's free. LuchaCentral.com, your centralized place for all things Lucha Libre.
And we're back. All right, I'm going to say this. I know Casey hasn't seen everything that's gone down this week, but that's okay because, Casey, I'm here to tell you there are definitely some things worth watching this week, and there's a few that aren't worth watching. I want to talk about Stand and Deliver first. I'll tell you what I don't want to talk about this week.
Oh, I've got to reach those kids.
I'll tell you what. That's good. That was good. That was super, super good. Anybody who didn't catch that, just hit the rewind button, hit the back 30 seconds button. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about AEW this week, and I'll tell you why. there was good stuff that happened on the show, and I don't want to get too excited because AEW keeps letting me down. They keep starting these good angles and then things just fizzle. And there's 7 million factions, which I know a few weeks back I said, look, the faction thing is good. But I also said the faction thing is good if they do it like New Japan. Let's solidify some things up. Let's make some stables. Let's make some groupings. And then let's like play in that world instead of like reshuffling and rejiggering these freaking factions every fucking week. I said jiggering.
Oh, okay.
Rejiggering, Byron. That's an actual word. Don't worry about it, man.
I just need to know if I need to make an edit.
He's allowed to say it's fine.
If you say it, I guess I don't. But I still have to tell Kevin.
Wow. No, don't worry about it. We're not getting me edited out of Lucha Central like Goldust is getting edited out of Peacock.
Peacock's going to come for you, Justin. They're coming
Jesus.
for you.
Fear the cock. Fear the cock.
Why the hell did they take the gay guy out? Leave him in. He was hilarious.
He was just making out with Ahmed Johnson. It's not like he sucked his dick or anything.
So yeah, I do find it to be ridiculous. It's like, look, wrestling has. Are they going to take out every bra and panties match now too? Like, yes, wrestling has been politically incorrect at many phases of it. Like, is the ECW library not going to make it to Peacock at all?
It's some of it's already on there. Actually,
I still have the network and everything's fine.
No, because that's not in the US. The network is staying.
Anything that's in the UK is not absolutely fine.
Yeah,
they just edited out every match Akira Tozawa's in over there because you can't have ninjas.
You can't say ninjas in England. But here is a by the way, I thought a lot
Form a complete sentence.
I thought a lot of a recent SNL was hack because it's like we've seen a black guy with a British accent before. That's not the punchline for 50 jokes. So good job, SNL writers. Anyway, what was the original point I was going to make? It was
nobody knows.
If you live in America, get a VPN and then watch the WWE network from England.
It's tracking the VPNs. It knows how to get around them now. It's not working.
Yeah, and
anymore.
you have to sign up with an account, and you have
from
to
that country.
From that country, you could.
Yeah,
pay me.
Yeah, but everyone uses Meef's mailing address.
Kleinrock tried.
I'll give it to you.
Kleinrock tried and it got screwed up. Look, this is Kevin Kleinrock we're talking about. He probably fucked up something.
He was making a grilled cheese sandwich at the time, and his microwave interfered with his internet signal. Anyway, so here's what I want to say. So I don't really want to talk too much about AEW this week. Let's give them a week or two to see if these storylines solidify. There's some good stuff in there. I'm not shitting on it at all, but I want to see. And now that NWA is back too, I think that there could be some talent issues now.
I'm going to shit on something that AEW did. Really? Takeshita, you picked the least interesting possible of all the DDT champions to bring over? Is that just because they would let you have him? I really don't like Konosuke Takeshita, or as I call him, take a shit. Because that's what you should do during his matches.
Is that because I only saw a picture of him? I don't know his work, but he seems like he's a good young talent to bring over. But
he's fake Okada is what he is.
Yeah, that's kind of what he looks like. Yeah, that's a good point. But are you more sore that they did not bring over the true DDT legend, Ace, a personal hero of yours? Are you upset they haven't brought him over yet?
Danshoku Dino? Yes. And also that would really stick it to WWE, Tony. You know, they're editing Goldust off, but you can't have Dustin go back to that character. So, you know, crank it up to 11 is what I'm saying.
That's a great point, because with the rain delay, Tony was quick to tweet, I'm not subtweeting anyone, but we did a show in the rain. Personally, I came up with the idea of putting carpet down outside, and I probably saved my whole roster from getting hurt. No big deal. I saved the day, but I'm not subtweeting to anyone.
Hey,
well,
you know,
they only had one slip on the ramp, right? It wasn't like 10 or 12 of them yesterday.
And Sasha Banks didn't die doing a suicide dive, so.
No, she did not.
That was a tremendous.
All right. let's talk about night one of. No, actually, let's talk about Stand and Deliver first. So, Stand and Deliver. I'm going to say this: both nights, I give high marks. Actually, very, very enjoyable, especially considering how dismal some of the NXT product has been recently. I feel like NXT does know how to do these big moments the right way, and actually came through on a ton of stuff. So
you know what they fucked up on, Justin?
What's that?
You have a show called Stand and Deliver. You have a wrestler named Almost on the fucking roster, and he's on WrestleMania.
The Edward James match.
No, you didn't. You didn't. And there was no kids to reach. There were no kids to reach, which I guess is better for like Velveteen Dream being around. But you know,
there was the William Regal Adamant moment. So
I'll tell you what I liked. I liked on night one. I liked Pete Dunne versus Kushida. Doesn't really matter for much, but that's the kind of wrestling match that I like, and I had fun with it. It's very enjoyable. Those guys fucking run really hard. They did a lot of technical shit. What's that?
The best technical wrestler in the world, and pretty much most of his offense was snapping fingers, which isn't really that technical.
But see, I like that kind of shit. I like the grimy joint manipulation.
I don't mind it. It's just sort of like I said, it's that whole where they do the best match ever, you know?
Right.
And they keep on.
Well, we know what happens when WWE says something is the best match ever. So I'll just leave that alone. The 6-man elimination gauntlet thing, like I am a huge fan of Dexter Lumis. I like L.A. Knight. I like a lot of these guys.
Why?
This whole thing did nothing for me. It is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about it was one of those rushed gauntlet type matches, which means everyone's going to do a spot or two and then they're going to lay down. You know, like none of it mattered. It was all super rushed. It was basically the equivalent of one of those almost cut for TV WWE matches where you get 5 minutes, including entrances.
Yep. That's pretty much exactly how it went down, and that's what you get. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa. I liked this match. I thought these guys did exactly what they were supposed to do. I thought this was a great chance for Walter to come over and be rewarded for the time he's put in over on NXT UK. And I thought Ciampa was the perfect opponent for it because he's just grimy and went all into Walter's flow. The pacing looked good, even though it wasn't at times. But these guys were total pros and made it look like this felt like old school good wrestling to me.
He's not grimy enough. He's not shoving his thumb up anyone's ass. He's not grimy enough. You know what I'm saying?
There were no oil checks in this particular match.
Yeah, exactly.
They were close. There were some oil checks this week, though. There was a, oh my God, Billy Kay was oil checking everybody in that that women's tag match yesterday.
Is it an oil check if you're using your nose to check?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter what the dipstick is, as long as you can read the levels.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta smell it to make sure it's not gone off.
I don't have a comment.
This show is gross.
That I want on public record.
Casey's the one that says this show is gross. You're the guy that's been saying penis at the end of it for 5 years now.
It gets cut half the time. They don't know that.
That's true. Totally true. So Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai. Any thoughts?
No, we had that pre-show match, I think, with Tony and that other one.
No, we're only talking about the matches that matter.
But then we have...
You're talking about Zoe Stark, who they're trying to present as some kind of credible threat, but they refuse to give her any kind of look and let her just go out looking like trash every week.
Hey, dude, she's Iron Man's daughter. You know, I love you a million or whatever.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But they had the triple threat match for the titles, which Grizzled Young Veterans, they do great, solid work, but they have no appeal to me, maybe because just I don't really ever watch them. MSK was winning the belts. Obviously, then it's a feel good, and they're like the 2-person version of a Matt Riddle promo. And what I thought was outstanding was Legado del Fantasma really got the shine and really got to do a lot of shit. And they didn't win, but I thought they looked great, you know? And it's the more airtime they get, the better.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm unmuting.
I
I like the Rascals. I think that they're a good choice. I did think that Legado was going to win because I thought that the money was in Rascals.
We can't call them the Rascals, pal. People might Google the Little Rascals and then, oh man, then the Peacock's editing all kinds of shit.
It's so great when Triple H is the one explaining that you can't put China in the Hall of Fame or something. And this is like not where he stands now, but at one point he in the suit had to deliver this sort of line. Like what if someone Googled China and saw some of the stuff she did? Like that would be bad. Just like if someone Googled curb stomp, then it would represent WWE bad. But then also,
so does that mean that Mickie James is never going to get into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. She should get into some Hall of Fame.
I mean, is the difference with China and other people that have posed nude that are in WWE the fact that there's a highly circulated tape out? Is that the only main difference, or is it all the other stuff?
It's because there's a difference. It's a difference between posing nude and doing hardcore pornography,
I guess.
But also, Triple H went on live TV and humped a fake corpse in a casket.
I did it. I screwed her brains out.
Sick.
Greatest angle ever in professional wrestling. I'm so glad Krista Joseph created that.
You're gonna do that to him like that. I will say this:
if it's not real, say something, DJ.
I thought Legado would have been the choice because of MSK chasing, but if Legado gets to chase them a little bit, I'm not mad at that either. I think I would love to see the titles kind of go back and forth between MSK and Legado del Fantasma a couple times. I think those are the teams right now that should be getting the rub in NXT if they're smart. They need to keep that program going up until SummerSlam if they can, is my opinion. But we'll see. And then Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai. It was a thing. It was a match.
Yeah.
It was a really nice dive.
Guess someone's going to get ruined on the main roster now, yeah?
Oh, no. They downplayed that straight away. I mean, it might have just been a, thing, but they did say, why would she want to go to the main roster when there's people there she wants to face?
I mean,
it's probably just them being,
but that's the way NXT works to a certain extent. I mean, every female champion from NXT that's had a decent run has gone up almost immediately after. Like I didn't expect Shayna to go up. I thought that they were going to actually leave her down, and they sent her up too. Like it's just kind of the routine. Like you do the run as female champion, you get a nice long run, and then they bump you up on the main roster. So we'll see. Now I'm happy for Raquel though that Taya is coming into NXT because I feel like that is one opponent that can actually make her look good and give her some experience. A lot of people are thinking that that's maybe a bad thing for Raquel that Ty is coming in because she is probably going to look so much more credible, but you need that. If she's just facing a bunch of other women who don't have anything for her and don't have more to offer to her or are greener, it's like, who's she going to face every week? Indy Hartwell? Like who's got her size and stature that's going to make it look good out there? Like Taya is a strong, woman. She can do house fight stuff. She can do lucha libre. She can do traditional American style wrestling. And I think she's a great foil for Raquel just to get in the mix. Maybe not even in full programs, but to have some matches at least.
Yeah, I agree with your point in that Indy Hartwell should not have a singles match for a long time on TV.
I don't know if that was my point, but sure. Let's talk about night 2. Do we have to mention that? Was there something that should have been like the open to the show that happened on night 2? I'm sorry. I'm being the open to the show. Congratulating someone? Who would get congratulated?
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know. No, it wouldn't be who, because he's Jim Neidhart and he passed away. He's no longer with us. Thanks for depressing me. Now I'm thinking of dead who. Fuck.
You're welcome.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's, the whole Hart Foundation's dead except for Brett. That's like fucked up.
Wow, I didn't actually think about that.
Yeah, I was just thinking that yesterday. I'm like, fuck, that's messed up.
I mean, you've always got Natty around.
Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy was making
Teddy making some towns, apparently.
Do those towns have a good prison system?
Yeah, it's not in Florida now.
What's great is whoever made the joke Twitter account is Teddy Hart in jail, which is a must follow, by the way. Probably thought they were being clever one time, but now they have to man that Twitter account constantly.
Yeah, they're like an actual news resource now. Yeah.
But you never know when it's going to change. Like, especially like last night or yesterday or the day before when he kept showing up to shows and had to be kicked out. Like, you don't know. You got to be ready for the time. You never know when he's going to get booked, and the Teddy Hart way.
I feel like the main event of night 2 is when I kind of learned who my friends were, like, or how cool my friends were.
Really?
Because when we were in the DM talking about it, one of us says, "What's he wearing? LOL." And then one of us immediately says, "Conan the Barbarian." And I'm like, "Justin, that's why you're the main host, and that's why Meep's a fucking Kohai, young boy." Watch my back.
Fucking stupid.
No.
You didn't like Kross's fucking ass. Dude, I'm
surrounded by leather.
Tight skivvies thing. Like, I
get that, but like,
I want Karrion to look like either a barbarian or to look like I was talking to Byron about it. Like, maybe just do straight up those baggy Muay Thai shorts would be dope too. I actually don't like Kross in the standard high-waisted shooter tights. Like, I don't want him to look like Josh Barnett. I want him to
have gone for
it's a Boss Rutan thing. He's going to do it because it's a Boss Rutan thing.
And I don't disagree with that. Like, he's trying to look like a Pancrase guy, but I think crazy. That it doesn't play as much in this era of wrestling. I think you either go MMA shorts for Kross, but that's the Brock Lesnar thing. So I think you go full Muay Thai shorts like, Cowboy Cerrone does, or one of those guys, or this, which was great, fucking strap up the leather Conan looking stuff, and it looked like a goddamn gladiator.
And I gotta say,
the Viking Raiders leftovers.
Oh, stop it!
Bad. It was bad.
Need to score because Kross didn't hit up at Leather Lucha, which is a fucking dumb name for his outfit.
That is a dumb name.
Wow,
Byron. Yeah, that's it. Byron's not getting a wallet now.
No, I get a wallet because I fucking paid money and sent you the other shit and your Mando.
Don't send him shit.
With words.
What's the Mando I bought him for his birthday. Yeah, the birthday gift from me, the Mando.
But I paid for shipping. And also, what's a leather lucha?
Wow.
Okay,
we've been podcasting.
Shout out to Scarlett's look as well, because Scarlett was kind of based on
Iron Man.
No, she was kind of the witches from Conan the Destroyer, the witch lady from Conan the Destroyer. Sort of.
There was a whole Conan thing going on there, Meef. It just went right.
I'm fine.
And
with
I always post
really
that that lamentation.
Silver,
oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't purple lame. I'm sorry,
but it makes a ton of sense because one, it's WrestleMania weekend, so even though you're doing the NXT Takeover thing, you dress for the job you want, and you do the WrestleMania superhero gimmick too. If you can get away with some kind of Conan like influencing your gear, then your boss is going to be like, "Oh, that's pretty sweet." It makes a lot. The NXT boss.
Oh, pal.
The one who
like that movie
went
too.
To WrestleMania as Conan once, and it's just I think it's smart business, and also it's just
if you turn up with a poodle. Pretending you're in Blade 4 or 3, whatever it was.
You want to know what's even smarter is that he's lining himself up for that Masters of the WWE Universe Kross action figure doing this.
Yeah, but we should definitely now that we're
look,
at
this is really simple.
we should get to the first match.
You know what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. It's that simple. That is it.
And I want to personally.
That's the whole costume. Kross and I have been joking about it for years. That is it. He's fucking Conan the King now. God
I gotta say, I want to congratulate.
that.
I want to congratulate Kross from the bottom of my heart. You know, you had a big task in front of you. You pulled it off. You did not trip over that guy's enormous dick one time.
I knew you were going there.
In the entire match.
Oh, that's genius. As soon as you said big task, I was like, "Yep."
Have you ever tried doing double Dutch? Because that's what it's like running the ropes every time you're in a Finn Balor match.
There are two of them. There's two of them. Anyway, I am going to go backwards for this night. I look, that match was what it was supposed to be. I thought that Kross was too respectful to Finn. Talking out of kayfabe here, that he really did not lay into him. And the last thing I'll say about the costume is that because of the matching leather kind of straps on the boots, I think that Kross did not want to throw in kicks on Balor and just took kicks instead of throwing them because the straps were studded, and he wouldn't have hurt him or anything, but I think they weren't his regular kick pads that he would normally wear.
I was hoping he would rake the eyes with them a little bit, just like.
But I thought that Kross was intentionally very respectful of Finn. He let Finn get his shit in. He knew he was going to get enough of his in. He took a lot of Finn shit. Like if you look at that coup de grace, wow, holy collapsed lungs, Batman. That I got a bit for the visual listeners. Doesn't Zartan's disguise mask that I'm showing right now look like Mr. Hole-in-One Barry Darso? Wow, a little bit.
You know what? I got a golf club too. I got a fucking golf club.
Wow, you're gonna totally do a Barry Darso thing now, huh?
Yeah, I want to say a couple things about this too. They definitely had a good match, and they definitely were a bit snug with each other, which I think you have to do. And Finn was
there wasn't snug with each other. Finn was snug with Kross. Kross was never snug with Finn.
That's right. That's true. And like we've talked about Kross's punches before. I mean, basically, here's a guy who's a trained fighter who doesn't want to kill people. So like, his strikes are gonna be a problem with trying to work them, and so he does so many forearms now, and his forearm would crush your skull in if he wanted to, or even if he didn't want to.
I'm a little mad that he stole my finish. I'm a little upset by that.
Yeah, no, he definitely did the Outlaw Beatdown, which you can find if you look up LA Outlaw Red on Fire Pro. The beating someone on the back of the head until they.
It's called a donkey punch. Come on.
Donkey punch. But like the forearms to the back of the head, they were definitely soft. And like, but what are you going to do? Because who knows, if he did him any harder, he might have actually just murdered someone on live TV.
Oh no, that was a good piece of business that he did for sure.
Yeah. So
or Finn might have started slinging his dick around like a fucking sap.
Right? Yeah, he might have took Belair's gimmick and fucking
just
cock slapped,
lacerated his entire torso.
And you saw what that did to Sasha Banks.
Yeah, so that's where I think the Muay Thai stuff, the kicks are where he's going to excel with strikes, and it's a shame that he isn't, or he can't, or he's being told not to do it, because I feel like he could be doing these kicks that look good, that look hard, that sound good, but they're safer than striking someone in their brain, Also, I thought this was a really nice touch that Finn had the red X over his chest. I thought that was cool. He's a total NXT dude, and that was a really nice touch to put it over his heart. Except then you kind of notice when he took his jacket off, like, oh, that's rubbing off pretty easily, And then there's some sort of mix-up at the beginning of the match where, like, I was watching with Justin. He's like, did Kross just ask Finn if he was leading? Like, there was a mix-up that wasn't part of like the planned start. The next thing you know, Finn grabs Kross in a headlock, and headlocks, when you work them, are supposed to get you to be able to talk to each other. So you get the other guy's head near your head, right? This was grab his face, rub it in your chest as much as possible. And Finn basically just rubbed all of that red shit off of him onto the side of Kross's face to start the match. And I thought, and whatever, it looked kind of cool, but I thought that was...
Yeah, but you know what's cool about that is at the end, because of that, when Kross is holding up the belt and Scarlett's there, he's sweating into the last little bit of the paint, so it looks like there's blood dripping from him. It looks like he was just in some kind of battle. I don't want to spend the whole show and the entire 17 hours of MMM show talking about Kross. You guys know we love him. I mean, like, look, I'm wearing the guy's fucking shirt. Congrats, champ. We always knew this was happening. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. I don't know what you do with Finn right now. I think you got to send him back up, pretty please. I don't think Finn belongs at NXT. I think he earned being on a bigger card. And I think that there's more ways to use him effectively as a mid-card guy, even on Raw. Unless, because putting guys over, he can't really put over the roster, you know, maybe leave him at NXT for a couple of get backs or something from a few of these guys or Cole or somebody, but I don't see the point. I like Finn Balor actually as much shit as we give him. And I'd like to see him back on the main roster. I think he could do some good.
We give him so much shit saying he has an enormous dick.
Yeah.
I love all the Prince Devitt stuff. One of my favorite highlights is when he was wrestling Tanahashi and he put a bag over his head, which was his gimmick, and then he did a bullet sign next to his head mid-match right on camera. It's like I like Finn Balor. He's badass. But when you talk about like if he's going to be the veteran who's really good, who takes a shift, putting people over in NXT, Ciampa has that spot now. So...
yeah. Hey, you know, we never even finished the Lucha Rewind, but that's hilarious. We'll just move on. We got so into the match, we never finished it. You know why? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh yeah, we didn't do that. Anyway, I'm going to Gargano versus Bronson, the human kaiju Bronson Reed, as I like to call him, not the colossal Bronson Reed, the human kaiju.
Yeah, he's the kaiju.
That was, it was a decent match. Nothing much to say about it. Ember Moon, Shotzi.
I do have something to say about that.
No, hold on. I'm going to go through this and you can go backwards because I have to leave here in 10 minutes, Byron. That's all you're getting from me. Let's see. The Shotzi Ember thing with the way was decent. I mean, it wasn't anything special. Shotzi had a few very loose moments, but I think we've kind of grown to expect that from her. And Shotzi feels like... like some of the mid-card at ECW used to be. She's just kind of loose and all over the place, but she's fearless and she's in there and she's just trying real hard. And it's really, really entertaining. I'm never not entertained by Shotzi. What were you going to say about the Gargano Bronson Reed thing?
I was going to say it's great to have Bronson do some stuff and to look good. And I'm really happy to see that he is getting a push. But then first of all, the head scissors where Johnny did a loose head scissors and fell down.
God,
and Bronson just did a cartwheel. That was lame. But also the whole thing is just like if Gargano's going to win that match, and I love Gargano, but Bronson should have won. What's the point? What's the point of all of it? What's the point of all like 20 kick out of 2 shock face spots if Bronson isn't going to win, you know? So that's my thing.
I don't think you can have Bronson win right here though yet. He's not that guy. And the fact that he just got elevated in a match the night before and there wasn't any program to it yet, he doesn't win there. That's stupid. I disagree. You can't put it on him right there. You have to do this ending. It's the only thing that makes the storytelling make sense. Otherwise, it's just pure hot shotting, and that would be stupid. And they already did that with this belt with the Leon Ruff thing to get him over, which was fine. But you can't do it again this soon. You cannot hot shot that belt right now. And in NXT, that's just not their style. They don't hot shot belts normally. They leave straps on people for extended periods of time, even when you don't want them to have them. That's kind of part of the NXT gimmick. All right, let's talk about 2 Escobar ladder matches.
Hold on, I have one more thing. I have one quick thing to say about the Shotzi match. I have one thing to say about that.
Stop, Byron.
That she did the dive. No one caught her, especially Indy Hartwell. And then it was really great to see Shotzi completely stiffer on that senton. You could see Indy's face where the entire midsection just gets crushed. And so good on Shotzi for getting one back.
I think Indy likes that stuff, though. She doesn't mind it. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, we forgot to. I'm going to go backwards real quick to end the Lucha Rewind. There was a vignette number 5 with Katrina and Mill that we kind of talked about, and then there was the Gift of the Gods ladder match where Cuerno dies at some point in the match, and Fenix pulls out a huge win. So there's the end of your Lucha Underground Rewind.
Oh, a quick story about that's just really quick is that when Cuerno was climbing the ladder on The Office, J. Ray yelled, "Cuerno, don't do it. He's just going to do the same shit to you as last time." And Cuerno said, "I know." And he kept climbing.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that ladder match did not end so well for King Cuerno, aka Phantasma, aka Escobar, Santos Escobar. This one, however, did. And I will say this: whether you like Jordan Devlin or not, Meatloaf, he was the exact right guy for this match.
Yeah, because you got a guy with a giant head trying to climb a ladder, and he's already at a disadvantage. So of course, Phantasma's going to win.
Devlin did a fantastic job, and he got arguably the highlight of. I mean, he was kind of working the babyface spot, even though he wasn't. So he got the highlight with that moonsault. That was dope. He did really great, way better. The match is way better on his end than I expected. But I'm super stoked that Santos Escobar won, and I'm super stoked that we got the return of Hijo del Fantasma.
Oh, God, I was wondering how Byron was going to mispronounce the real name.
Chocolatito. Look, it was an interesting moment for a heel to have that kind of finish and ending. I mean, I think that Devlin was supposed to be the babyface here. I don't know. The whole babyface.
They read their Twitter replies and they're like, fuck.
All that uncrowned champion shit isn't for a face.
It's funny because when it was Kross versus Santos was clearly the heel there. Also, even though Kross is kind of a tweener, but I like this in wrestling because I don't like the pure babyface, pure heel thing. I mean, look, we're Lucha Underground fans. What we liked at Lucha Underground was a person can be, like a Rudo in the ring with what they do, like Pentagon, but be the over baby face with the crowd. I mean, look, Casey, I know you're a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan too. It was like that tweener thing.
I just do a good impression.
That's true. But I like that style of look, it's wrestling. We're not watching it because we want some do-gooder guy to be our favorite dude. Those days are over. Yeah. What you want is you want to cheer in real life. There's reasons why people like Conor McGregor because he's this guy who talks all this shit. He's not an admirable person, but he talks a bunch of shit and then would go into the ring and back it up. Now he's not so good at backing it up anymore, but at a point in time that was fun. And I like this mask. I like this whole blurring the rings thing. Look at Chocolatito.
Meef already bought the mask.
Which one? Do you want me to tell you about it? So this mask that Phantasma wore, he needed a new designer for masks, and I put forward my friend Victor, and was like, "Can he make you a mask? See how it works out or whatever." And Victor made him that mask.
A real man would have made one out of lucha leather.
Wow.
Send it to him.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
But this material is absolutely insane.
I mean, this picture is so
the purple
good,
material
though.
is actually the same as the same material that Ultima Dragon uses. The blue mottled
yeah.
And the green one he has. But this is the purple version.
Look, this photo, just seeing the smile on Escobar's face here, this just says a lot. Like the guy, he did the damn thing. And it's so awesome. Like from the time, a little over a year ago when he was on our show, and you could see that he's just clearly sweating it in life, period. Like, oh my God, I don't know what's next for me. I don't know if any of this shit's going to pan out. I don't know what to do. And you could see it on his face. I mean, he's asking us 4 schmucks on a fucking podcast like what he should be doing and if we have any contacts or where he can go next at the time. And then to see him from there to this, where, you know, he's clearly on top of the world. You know, he's elevated a title that WWE was burying before him. It was getting put on 205 Live on a show that nobody fucking watches. And then they put the belt on him and he makes this an NXT title now. This is no longer a 205 title. This is the equivalent of the height of the Intercontinental belt for this promotion. This is, you know, he's made this belt mean something. He's made these kind of moments mean something. He deserved to be the guy to unify these belts and send Jordan Devlin packing. It's just really nice to see. So to our friends of the show, I would just like to say congratulations to both Karrion and Kross and to Santos Escobar for the big pull downs. Byron, I want to do this. I want to do an entirely separate episode where we do WrestleMania stuff. And I know how we can run it and everything. And it'll be great. So come back, watch our WrestleMania review show. It'll be fun. We'll talk a little bit more about some things that are going on. But I want to leave it here because I want to congratulate our homies, Santos Escobar, Karrion and Kross. Those guys have worked really hard to get where they are, and they're doing the right things to do it. They're doing right by the people who are involved. They just do good business. They're good, solid guys, and I'm happy to see them get to where they are.
Congrats, chaps.
Fully deserved.
And for the last time from Los Angeles, this is the Rock and Roll Outlaw saying,
"Oh my God, we're gonna have to change that gimmick."
Yeah.
Sounds like
actually, you know what?
Lucha Byron, but
it's hilarious because that was the actual.
I'm the rock and roll outlaw.
That was the original
it's Tony Storm gimmick, is what it is.
That was the original nickname given to me. I did not give that to myself by any stretch of the imagination. That is actually where the name Outlaw came from. It's really just Outlaw. There's a million people that know me by that name. And then some other friends added LA Red later. I gave myself none of these names, and it will just be Outlaw. But I am actually officially losing the LA Red part of the moniker. That's all that's happening.
Would you call you Red?
He doesn't use any of the names me and Byron made up for him.
Nope. There's good reasons for that.
What about Jason? Can we call him Jason?
Sugar Walls.
I got a funny story about the Jason thing that I'll tell you some other time. Anyway, for the last time for me from Los Angeles, until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.
Penis staying in LA. Penis staying in LA.